We are following breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. Doug Marrone is out as Jags head coach after 5 seasons. The team going 1-15 this year. Doug Marrone would go to the Super Bowl back in 2017, but just a few years later, he is no longer the head coach out in Jacksonville. Here is a statement sent out. Before we get to that, the head coach openings there in the NFL. So the addition of the Jaguars has the Jets, Texans, Lions, and Falcons all with openings. Some of those, of course, during the season there. All right, let's bring in senior NFL writer Pete Prisco. We'll get to that statement in just a bit there, Pete. But what do you think about the news that Doug Marrone no longer with the team?
Well, it's not surprising. This was expected. When you go 1-15 with 15 straight losses, you're not going to really keep your job in the NFL. And it fell apart quickly in Jacksonville. And part of that is the culture. The culture went bad after the 2017 season. They got rid of a bunch of guys. They traded Jalen Ramsey. And there really wasn't a lot of talent on this roster. Hey, Doug Marrone did everything he could to try and get this team to play hard and win games. They were just undermanned. And when you're undermanned, you're not going to compete in this league on a week-by-week basis. All
right, part of the statement by owner Shad Kahn is talking about finding somebody along with the general manager position to share a vision, which, of course, is to win a Super Bowl. What's ahead for this team? How attractive is both front office positions, or rather the combination of a front office position and a head coaching position there in Jacksonville?
This is the best job in the league right now in terms of the open positions. And the reason I say that is this. You have the #1 overall pick. You have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. You have a ton of cap space. And you have a bunch of young guys who played a lot of football this year. If you can't fix this team within a year or 2 with Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, you have major issues as a coach and general manager. This should be a very attractive job to a lot of people. We've heard Urban Meyer, and there have been conversations between the 2 sides. Is Urban willing to give up the broadcast booth to go back and coach after he left because of health reasons? That's a major concern. They will interview a bunch of people if Urban Meyer doesn't take this job. Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator of the Titans, will be in play. I think Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, will be in play. And they will consider some college coaches. This is a plum job because of all the assets they have.
Because it's a plum job, and you think it's going to be Trevor Lawrence open and shut case, in addition to a franchise quarterback and an elite college prospect, what else needs to be added there with this Jacksonville team?
Well, I think they need to, beef up the defense for one. I've outlaid a plan to fix this team already. Go sign Leonard Williams from the Giants. Go add another defensive lineman like Trey Hendrickson from the Saints in free agency. Either add a tight end or a left tackle, maybe Trent Williams in free agency, and then draft to surround the quarterback with good people. Maybe take a tight end with the second first-round pick that they got from the Rams, and then also add a speed receiver, because the one thing that lacks on this team is speed. Get a guy like Rondale Moore out of Purdue in the second round. All of a sudden you look up, you have a tight end, you have the receivers who are there with Chenault and Chark, and you add a speed guy like Rondale Moore and a left tackle. That offense could be pretty good.
Pete, you know the Jacksonville franchise in the area well. How do fans take this news? And also, we mentioned Shad Kahn, also Tony Khan, his son, and what transition may be there in terms of power. What's it going to be like there for fans of a Jacksonville team that went 1-15 this past season?
When they got the #1 overall pick, you would have thought they won a Super Bowl, and talking to people in the city. That's how excited they were. There had been a real lull in the passion for that fan base. Remember, back in the day, they used to sell out a stadium that didn't need tarps. There was a real passion there. But when you lose a lot of games year in and year out, the passion wanes and it falls away. But it's back because they have Trevor Lawrence coming to town. They're excited, and they're excited to see who the new coach would be. I know a lot of people in that city would love to see Urban Meyer there. I think that would really invigorate the fan base as well. But whoever they hire, it's a great job because there's a lot of assets, and that's the most important thing in the NFL. This isn't about coaching. This is about finding the right players, and there's a lot of talent to be had with all those picks and all that money to spend.
And lastly, there we saw the draft profile of one Trevor Lawrence. Pete, I know you grind the tape. I don't know if you had a chance to go real into deep until we get to the draft, but what from you seen, either it's just on TV or a little bit that you have so far, what do you like about Trevor Lawrence? How does he compare to some of the other top prospects that we've seen in recent years?
This is a generational quarterback, and you can, cast aside the game last week. Everybody, Justin Fields might have moved ahead of Trevor Lawrence. No, he did not. He did not. He played a great game. Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. There's only been a few of these kind of quarterbacks to come into the league. John Elway when he came out, Peyton Manning when he came out, Andrew Luck. This is a generational quarterback. He is a slam dunk as the #1 overall pick, and he should be.
Pete Briscoe with the very latest. Doug Marrone fired as Jags coach. He will not be back, and they'll open up a head coaching vacancy as well as a GM position as well. Pete, certainly appreciate it. Thank you.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.